What's up, y'all? I'm back. Or we're back. No Jamal today, but phone should be on silent anyway. It's been a minute since we got up in it, but today I'm just testing the works, making sure everything is good in the hood and doing what it's supposed to do, like it used to. You know what I mean? Jelly bean. All right. Now that I've tested the stream, let us move into the scene. All right. I know that was a little corny, but let's see. Can you see me now? I didn't really have anything in particular that I want to talk about today, but let me take off my glasses so I can see what I'm saying. Anyway, I was just going to stream out a little bit of what I've been thinking and seeing for a little bit here, and to that extent, let me clear my throat. Now let me pull up the news that I was going to talk about. Actually, if I'm being honest, there isn't really anything that I wanted to talk about, or any article in particular that I want to talk about. There are some things that happened that I wanted to kind of air out here recently, and those things having to do with Tesla and other electric vehicle manufacturers and OEM, traditional ICE vehicle or internal combustion engine manufacturers. So, without further ado, let's get to it. So, first off, the AWE, the strike, or the UAW, or whatever the fuck the acronym is, the union, the Auto Workers Union, United Auto Workers, UAW, that's what it is. That's horrible. So anyway, the UAW, I just realized that my soundboard is not working. That won't do at all. Bear with me for just a moment. We're having technical difficulties.
One ring. Bueller.
Okay, after all that, I'm back. So, oh, am I not live? Okay, I guess I'm live now. I don't know what the hell's going on. I think I was already live. But whatever is clever. So, the issue was... the issue... I was trying to get my sound effects. Now I got my sound effects on. You can see what's happening. That's just me being nosy watching the live stream over there. Let's get rid of that. So, back to the mission at hand. And the mission is this, my man. No, the mission is just to look, or talk rather, about a couple newsy type things. And so, first off, let's go into the matrix and cut this music off. So, first off, the first thing that I wanted to mention is that the UAW. That's what I was talking about before I realized I had no sounds. The UAW, United Auto Workers Union, is causing a little difficulty for the big three automakers. So let's see if we got sounds here. Okay, there we go. So now we're talking. Anyway, I was a little distracted by that before. So let's get back to what I was going to talk about: the strike and the pricing and all the interesting things that are happening right now at the same time. So, interesting thing to note is that the UAW, the auto workers, they want more money. We all want more money. I can totally get behind that idea and that thought. So no issue with that. I'm all for everybody getting a raise. The issue right now, I think, is for those automakers who are already trying to compete with Tesla on a price and quality level. And whatever your favorite car is, wherever your position is on this car better than that car, we won't get into that here. But the important thing here is that for a price per feature type base, if we want to put it like that, or even average price for range, whatever your marker is, whatever you want to call your marker, everybody is struggling to deliver on these features at a price point that people can afford and that they can justify above and beyond the price of ICE vehicles, internal combustion vehicles. But what I think a lot of people aren't aware of right now is that the ICE vehicles, I just realized I was talking kind of fast. I talk fast when I get excited. But the internal combustion engine vehicles and the electric vehicles are almost at price parity now. So the price of an electric vehicle is about the same as the price of a regular vehicle. A little bit more expensive, but if you consider a Model 3, for example, a Model 3 standard range, you can get, after the tax credit, for about $37,000, I think is what it is now. So, that's just slightly above Corolla prices, definitely below the price of any mid-level sedan. So, when you consider that you don't have to pay for gas and you don't need brakes as often, if ever need to replace them, you don't need oil changes. You can charge it in your garage at home. If you're clever, you can charge it for free at the mall and for free at the supermarket and for free down in Kirkland. If you go down to Kirkland and enjoy the beach or have dinner down there by the gazebo anywhere, there is charge point chargers there in the parking lot that you can charge at for free. So anyway, all that aside, the point here is simply that the price that vehicles are being sold at now is moving lower. It's steadily moving lower, and the big three automakers are they're not able to create or manufacture these vehicles and turn a profit. They're actually losing money on all these vehicles. So for them to lower prices even further when they're already losing money just means they're cutting more into whatever profit they had any hope of gaining in the future. So you add that to the increase in wages and the length of time the strike is going on, causing manufacturing to slow or come to a complete stop. They're really behind the eight ball, while Tesla continues to chug along. The Chinese electric vehicle manufacturers are also chugging along, although they are mostly operating at a loss as well, with subsidies from the Chinese government. But that's a whole other story. We won't get into that here either. Point being that there's already difficulty matching the pace and the pricing of the competition with electric vehicles, and we're not going back. We're not going back to all ICE vehicles. No matter who's in office, you're not going to be able to roll back the momentum that's already been created. And as it's been said before, wherever California goes, so goes most of the rest of the West Coast, and on with that, the rest of the country, as far as what they do for clean air and EV requirements and things of that nature. Think of it this way. If manufacturers have to build a special type of car to sell into one of the largest car markets in the United States, California, if they have to build a special car for California, they're probably going to want to build that same car everywhere else. So if California requires them to go EV, it doesn't really matter what your state does or how your state tries to resist. Most of those manufacturing efforts are going to go towards electric vehicles. All that to say, the EVs are coming, dude. The EVs are coming. So with that in mind, these legacy auto manufacturers, they need to be able to compete. And with margins going down and compensation for the workers going up, I'm not sure how they're going to be able to squeeze a quality product out of that scenario. So I digress. That was kind of gloom and doom. I didn't mean to go down that sad path like that. I meant to talk about how it's awesome that most of the auto manufacturers, Ford, GM, Rivian, and countless others, have agreed or committed to using the NACS standard, the North American Charging Standard, aka the Tesla plug. And that Tesla plug will then give them access to, wait for it, they will give them access to, I have no angels singing. It will give them access to the Tesla charging network, and not just chargers with the what do they call it, the Magic Dock, but all of the Tesla chargers. Any charger that has the North American Charging Standard, which is all of the Tesla superchargers in the United States. So what does this mean for you? Why should you care, and why am I talking about this? I've got no pretty slides. I've got no media background to back it up. It's just me and the Matrix giving you the tea. So what's in it for you? If you were thinking about buying an electric vehicle, whatever it is that happens with the UAW and the strike, and whoever goes bankrupt, goes out of business, or does swell and gets back to work, whatever happens there, these agreements to use the North American Charging Standard have already been made. Oh, Osborne effect. We got to come back to that. These agreements to use the North American Charging Standard have already been made, which means that after 2025, meaning like probably last quarter 2025, first quarter 2026, most all electric vehicles will have access to the Tesla charging network. Now, if you don't have an electric car, you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, and you don't care. But if you do have an electric car and it's not a Tesla, then you might not know what I'm talking about as far as the joys of the Tesla charging network, but you probably are very aware of the pains of all of the other charging networks. Electrify America, I'm looking at you. So, Electrify America, I'll have to pull up some stats in another video. I didn't really want to go deep on all the stats and whatnot in this video, but Electrify America, their chargers are quite frequently broken. I actually have a little video that I did on my trip back from just from Moses Lake, just eastern Washington, and I stopped. Oh, I'm sorry. I was about to throw Electrify America under the bus. It was not Electrify America. It was a Shell charging station that was out of order. So, but quite frequently, it's Electrify America chargers. You see people talking about these. You see YouTube videos. You can Google it. Electrify America doesn't do a really good job of maintaining their chargers. They have some decent chargers. They're here and there. I see them in lots of different places. So they are out there. You probably can get to them if you need to take a road trip. But they're not as consistent as the Tesla charging network. Meaning, if I'm taking a road trip down I-5, I can go down I-5, eyes closed, not even thinking about it. And I know for a fact at least about every 50, 60 miles or so, there's going to be a Tesla charger right off the freeway. So I can go, and I've done it several times before. Driven my Tesla from here to San Francisco and back. I've driven from here, here being Seattle, from here to Las Vegas for CES, and most recently here I drove from Seattle to Arizona for my aunt's birthday party. And I didn't have any troubles, didn't get lost, didn't get stuck, didn't run out of charge, didn't stress out about finding a charging station. Except for that one time that we skipped the charging station. We thought we were going to make it to the next one, but the next one was like 94 miles or something like that. It was the largest stretch through the desert there. And we were supposed to hit that last charging station. And I was like, don't worry about it. There'll be another one. And there wasn't another one. Actually, I think it was more like 60 miles, but still, it seemed like 90 miles. So we had to turn around and go back 10 miles to get back to the charger that we had passed. But that was the only time we had any charging stress. But other than that, by the way, there's no gas stations out there either. So if we were driving a gas car, we would have been in the same situation if we didn't stop at that last gas station or that last charging station and get gas or charge. It was like 80, 90 miles to the next civilization, at least the next place where we could find a charger. There's probably a gas station, I think, about 60, 70 miles. But if you had 30 miles left like we did and you didn't stop and get gas and you didn't stop and charge your car, you were going to be stuck in the desert regardless of what kind of car it was. So not range anxiety, just dumbass missing the last stop for gas anxiety. Anyhow, I digress, as I usually do. So point being, after this NACS update, that's where I was before I went down the rabbit hole. After this NACS update to all these other vehicles, everybody is going to just have access to the Tesla charging network. So that trip that I was just telling you about, that's how I got to that trip. That trip that I just told you about, everybody will be able to do that. Right now, that trip is a scary, difficult trip in anything but a Tesla because the other Tesla chargers were few and far between. There's only about, whenever I did see another like Electrify America or EVgo or another charging station, there's like 4 of them, out in the middle of nowhere or whatever. Now, at the Tesla charging stations, there's always a minimum of 6 or 8. But on this trip, I don't think I saw a charging station that had less than 12 plugs. So in most cases, there's 2 or 3 other cars there. A couple of them were empty except for us. 1 or 2 of them were packed full. But there are a lot of charging stations that had like more than 50 plugs. So Tesla is clearly prepared for the upcoming demand for these charging stations. Now, having said that, quite frequently I go to Northgate, which is down the street from my house here, and that thing is packed full, and there's 16 plugs there. But it's a strategically placed charging station between the suburbs here in Kenmore and downtown Seattle. By the same token, the one in Bothell